हाँ Is the meeting muted?
Okay, you're gonna have to go back. Our next president. Welcome. Thank you. Last week.
Yep, came last Wednesday and she's doing great. And she wanted to come, but she had a council meeting today and she was meeting all the other state students. So we thought that was better.
And then what do you think? Please be aware of, please let us know. Not much, but I'd like to share with them. What? So that week is so
its second annual education summit on Wednesday, October 4th. And just as a quick review, this annual education summit serves as a platform for youth serving professional educators, caring volunteers, and policymakers to share knowledge, explore new frontiers in education, and learn from one another. Last year was the inaugural year of the summit. We seek to create an annual event for the community, by the community, that focuses on children and young adults in our community. And the theme this year is transforming systems together. We are all cradle to career. So the theme embodies the idea that Cradle to Career initiative is made up of really the entire community. And so we have the amazing opportunity to serve as volunteers at this event. It's an all-day event. Basically, I think like 10 to 4. And this is a 3-club opportunity. So this volunteer opportunity has gone out to the membership of all 3 clubs. And again, thank you to the people who have already signed up. Also, you have the opportunity to attend the conference if you wish. Now, you can volunteer and not attend the conference if you so choose, but you can do both. You can attend and take part in a volunteer activity for about an hour. So you can, you know, some of the opportunities are like setting up, tearing down, but also just sitting at the welcome table. They also need helpers in each of the breakout sessions. One to be a note taker, to take kind of the critical takeaway information from the speaker and give that back to the organizer of the event at Cradle to Career. So they kind of have a summary of everything that was done that day. The other thing in the breakout sessions is a tech person. So if you're kind of techie, they really need your assistance in that area as well. So that opportunity is again on the website and also was in the last Moccasin Flower. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marilyn. And one other way that you can contribute to Cradle to Career, which we would encourage, is financially. And the way we would recommend is if you have an interest in supporting the financial aspects of Cradle to Career, the organizers would welcome that. It's easiest if we make the check out to the community foundation, the TRCR Community Foundation, and designate the fund go to Cradle to Career. Because the conference is coming up by October 4th, if you could get your financial contributions, if you wish to do it to contribute that way, get that in by mid-September, that would be most grateful, and we'll try to track it on our side or with Marilyn's help. Again, our club was assigned or expected or thought to contribute as up to about $6,000. And we just thought it wasn't fair or in our budget for this year to put it as a line item. So this is all in-kind donation as you feel compelled. As you're also aware, we have several other programs requiring financial support, and that's why we want to just make this an option for you rather than sort of force function it as we go forward. So if you want to make a financial contribution, Cradle to Career certainly welcome it. Make the check out to TRCR Community Foundation and designate in the memo line Cradle to Career, and I think that way you'll get a tax benefit and the Cradle to Career will get your financial altruism. Did I say that well, Dave? I need some spot checkers here for things that doctors don't usually do normally. The other reminder is Quarry Hill Festival. So on September 9th, both Tamsin and Lori Lukey have we have the opportunity to work to restart that canteen spot where we do shifts at the Quarry Hill Festival. That'll come on the website, you can sign up. It's a fun, Karen's got it, we'll distribute it if you want to sign up there. It's really quite a fun time, even if it's 100 degrees outside, because there's soda, there's chocolate chip cookie. Oh, well, there's things that aren't healthy for you that are also on the canteen that you can buy and support Quarry Hill with. 3 Club gathering is occurring on October 3rd. The venue is yet to be defined. It'll be an evening event. Patricia McLeese will be the keynote speaker, and this will be an opportunity for all 3 clubs to restore friendships, restore trust, and explore opportunities for fundraising collectively or individually. And more will be coming, just to let you know. And finally, an update on Holiday Classic. So thanks to all the organizers, we were able to give out impact grants. There is a reserve fund of about $27,000, and the 3 club leadership, as well as input from Lori and Jennifer and others, are recommending that the process going forward on how we use the remaining money to reinvest in the youth going forward is going to be done through a democratic process where we create a survey instrument and send it out to all of you electronically in hard copy, and try to get your input on how we should, what the process should be to respect the 27,000 that we have left in the fund and spend it. So as more information comes out, please reach out to Jennifer, Dave Mortel, or myself directly. We know there's a lot of sensitivities around this topic, and we are here to encourage and endorse inclusion, justice, equity, diversity, and build capacity for all the youth in our community. So it's taught me a lot about peace, and it has to start with each of us. And before peace, there has to be respect. So I hope you honor that we're coming from a place of mutual respect, and as we go forward, how we honor the youth and the 35 years of Holiday Classic will require us to transcend our individual self-interests and think about the collective and the long term. And I never wrote all that down, but that came from the heart. And I want to put a shout out to Sarah Gilland if you want to make a comment about ethics and peace building, and then we're getting close to time for our speaker. So this is spontaneous.
Yes.
Well, as some of you may be aware, for many years, we've had an ethics day, usually in the fall, for high school students from all of the Rochester high schools. We did not hold that in 2022. The high schools were pretty overwhelmed with getting back to an in-school environment. And so now we're trying to reactivate that ethics day. In collaboration with District Governor Patricia, who has this peace building theme, we're sort of at a transition point where we are combining the idea of ethics, which is really the foundation of peace building, along with some more formal peace building training, basically. I'm excited to say that we're trying to hold a one-day kickoff event. And then the real new part is we have a John Marshall High School teacher who is willing to integrate this peace building curriculum into her class for the entire semester of spring semester 2024. The John Marshall administration, the principal, the Rochester Public School curriculum director for the high schools, and this teacher have really been quite enthusiastic about working with us. And so we're viewing this pilot in the spring semester as let's see how this goes with John Marshall, and then learn from that and hopefully get back to the place where we can offer a more extensive program to all of the high schools. So basically what I'm looking for is anyone who would like to join the 3-club planning committee. And we will be doing fundraising either through grants or donations to support the cost of this enhanced program. So that's all I have to say for now, but if you'd like to help, I'd love your help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And I was looking at the sequence. It's pretty logical. I just want to remind, next Thursday, there is no rotation day because it's close to Labor Day. And I thought what I'd use the time for is to put together an assembly update similar to what Ali and Audrey had done last January. So it'd be fall in about 6 months. And as I compile that and get input from our past presidents, we'll put that into a PDF and then circulate that electronically. So that'll come in September. It's now my honor to have Dave Mortel present our keynote for today. Dave.
Thanks, Asha. So today I have the pleasure of introducing Bev Driscoll. And Bev is going to be presenting on the LIFT program that was formerly called Fast for Hope. The LIFT is designed to help communities move towards sustainable water solutions, health and economic issues, and we are currently working in Nicaragua. So a little bit about Bev. She worked in the public sector at the Minnesota Legislature, House Research, Minnesota Alcohol and Drug Commission, the Minnesota Department of Human Services, Minnesota Association of Counties, and finally as the Assistant Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Revenue. Much of her work at the Capitol was for budget and policy legislation. She joined the Stillwater Rotary Club in 2006 and has traveled to Ghana on a polio vaccine program and Germany on a cultural delegation. And she has a love and a passion for Rotary. So welcome, Bev.
I want to take that.
He is a picture taker.
Why not? We get close, right? Can I go?
Yeah, that's one more. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. What happened with this? Oh, okay. Can I take this off or I can walk around a little bit?
I tell you what, I'm going to give you this one.
Oh. Might walk.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Is that working?
That's working.
Okay. In case it doesn't work, and people in the back have to wave at me.
Check with the Zoom audience.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
if
can
they
I
hear
just-
that microphone?
Oh,
oh,
can they
right
hear
there.
that? Only that one?
It
No.
might be.
I think you're good.
Okay. Tell the Zoom people to raise their hand. Okay, we had a lot of trouble. I'm so sorry about that. We have a lot of trouble with the electronics and, I guess, you know, I'm 88 years old. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. And I put the whole thing together and tried to mail it to Dave and it said, forget it, it's too large. I can't do that. And then it said, if you do something else, you know, you can do it, but I can't do this something else. And so somehow my kids weren't around, my grandchildren weren't around, you know, so that didn't work. So I was really interested to hear, Bill, about that there would be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Because I was at the district conference, I think was the first time I was at, I was in Mankato. And the district governor Krogman ended the conference with that and we all sang it. And I have to say, you know, oh my gosh, what an experience. You know, it's just like, I think about that all the time when I'm thinking about important things. And so it was wonderful to hear you say that too. So, so it's fun to be in Rochester. My family, my son and his wife and 2 daughters live in Rochester. So we get down here every now and then to visit. Am I in the wrong place?
No,
You're fine.
The visual?
You're good.
Okay. And his 2 daughters were here too. And so we had some fun visits and then my husband had some, not quite so fun visits at the hospital, but you know, it's the best place in the world to be. So we're really happy that that's there. So now we'll talk a little about LIFT. And Carol gets to chime in. Carol's been to Nicaragua quite a few times. And so in case I missed something, you get to chime in about that. And I might have to back up every now and then for looking at these things. But so LIFT used to be Fast for Hope. And LIFT is a whole different way of going about helping people in the international community. And that's what we do. The LIFT is actually a district international program and been going on as Fast for Hope for, I don't know, like 20 years or something, like close to that probably. And so it's a whole district thing where we do the international effort. And it has been in Nicaragua, was in Haiti before that. It was in Nicaragua because guess what? Nicaragua was a safe place to be. Not so safe today. But we're still pursuing there. We do a little bit different work when we go into that community now. So LIFT is a different approach, and we'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll talk about what we did in El Corozo this year, because we did really good stuff this year. It's so exciting. They're so happy, and we're so happy, you know, anybody that's informed about that or has had experience there. So LIFT is a different way of looking at how to give service to people. And it's a new acronym. So the L is listen. Okay, listen is not always so easy for any of us. We kind of, sometimes we listen and we're also thinking about what we're going to say. But we mean really listen. Listen to what they have to say. And the I is for inquire. So it's important that we respectfully ask questions of the people that we're working with in these communities, because they may not say everything. You know, sometimes you have to ask a question to get information out. We really need to be getting their perspective on their community and what kind of changes they would like to see. So we listen, we inquire, and the F is for facilitate. So we need to be able to facilitate their learning, their experiences with each other, facilitate their discussions, because people aren't always so good to working in groups there. I mean, you know, what's going on in the communities we tend to go into? They're trying to get enough food for themselves. They're trying to get a job. They're trying to get their kids to school. They're not really usually working in groups or coming to a consensus or learning how to do that. They live in somewhat isolation. So we're learning we facilitate, and we're teaching them how to facilitate, because we'll go home. We're not going to be there all the time. And then the T is for transform. So we're listening, we're inquiring, we're facilitating. And if we do all that well, their community is going to be transformed. And isn't that a great thing to think about? It's really important. Oh, I don't need that one. Let's see. We have the original, right? Whatever else I know. Okay, this is an important slide. I have to say that when I looked at the presentation, it has a whole lot of words on it. It has a lot of slides, and somehow, you know, if you're reading that, you're probably not listening to me and can't hold that. So this is important though, because with all of the programs that we can do through LIFT, we will hit these 5 areas. So, and we already are doing it with water, maternal health, education, and we're focusing now on growing some economies. We haven't done that before, but we're focused on that. You know, in a way, I thought about it, so I looked at this yesterday. You know, if you do these kinds of things, people are not angry, they're not so upset, and in a way, you're helping peace, because people are happier about things, and they're not likely to go quarreling with their neighbors or whatever else people do these days. Okay, let's try the next one. Skip that one. Okay, and this just shows a little bit about the timing. It takes a little longer to do the listening and inquiring. Then you just can't go in the first day to a new community and say, okay, talk to us, because they have to get a little bit used to you. We took longer in El Corozo than this year, but it takes you a while to go in. They get to know you, you get to know them, you have a meal together, you can ask some questions, and as people get to know you, they tell more, right? They're more comfortable. And so they'll share more about what's going on in their community and what they really want to have as a change. So this just shows that it takes about a year to do that. And then you start getting into what do they really want, and we can move forward on all of that. Let's see what the next slide is. Okay, so the idea is, which is what we've been talking about, is you're developing community leadership, and you know, and hopefully you get some of the local governments to work with you, but lots of times they don't care about small villages. So with El Corozo, they got 500 people in there. The local city governments didn't really care much about that, what was going on there, so it's too small. So that doesn't always happen, but it's helpful if it does, because they have money and they have resources. Let's go to the next one. Somebody needs to tell me when we're about, I'm at about 20, but, okay. I think we've talked about this, so just look at the blue things. And so you're organizing and developing leadership and governance. We're looking at needs. We're enabling, this is where it's really important. Enable the community to have the capacity and the ability to sustain. And the way we do that now is because if we've developed a rapport and we've done the listening and the asking and the facilitating, these people are invested in what's going forward. And they've worked together and they've worked with the community and they're the ones that are doing the work. And when we leave, that doesn't matter much. You know, we come back to visit, but they've got it. It's theirs and they feel that it's theirs. And you know what, the Rotary did before, you probably all know this better as well as better than me. So we look at this little community and say, they need a well, or oh, they need books for other kids. We said that. We go in and do that, and then we walk out. And that's a whole different situation than if you get people involved and thinking and deciding among themselves about what they really want to have as change in their community. Let's see what comes together. Okay, so we've been working with Kairos, which is a pretty good group for getting some community understanding and working together, but they take a really long time. So we spend a little more time from my perspective, a lot more time than we should have doing that. And so we're changing who we're working with. We're working with Planting Change Foundation, that's an interesting name. And they have been working with us now to do the water project in El Corozo, which we're going to get to, which is the best thing we've done this last year. It's just an amazing, good project. You know what it's like if you don't have water. When it happens when your electricity falls off or something and no water, oh my goodness. And we've also been working with Engineers Without Borders, which is a great thing because we bring in young people to get involved in this, part of their life. It becomes kind of what they think about in the future. And, you know, it gets them off their little social media phones. That's not a bad idea. Okay. And then we're also working with Opportunity International. They're a Chicago-based company, and they focus on economics. And it seems to me that when you have a community that's farming, and they mostly farm just for themselves, they have a little produce they take, developing an economic base for a community really can make a big difference over the long haul. So we're moving into that area that we weren't in before. And Opportunity International has been doing it for a long time. And they're really good at doing that. So we, in fact, when we've gone down there to visit, we visited their things. You can see they have a lodge and they have a processing plant for yucca. And then they have a technical school. And the technical school is really interesting. It's a high school. The kids graduate with a high school degree and also like a 2-year degree in either hotel management or agriculture. And guess what? They got a hotel. They can go practice. And they've got at the technical school, they've got the farm. They have chickens and they have various vegetables. I forgot what they got on it, but we visited it. And, you know, that's really a great thing because the kids get a lot more out of school like that. They go out and do something and they've got a place to practice while they're in school. So Opportunity International is going to be a great partner for us in helping expand the economic capacity of these areas. Okay, so El Corozo. Like El Corozo, right? So El Corozo had, this is the water part. So El Corozo we did a couple good things in El Corozo before we get to the water. It's a very small community, about 130 families, 500 people, a dirt road that goes through the middle of the community and then roads going up to other people, primarily agriculture. And then some people go off and go into the farm, into other areas and do mostly more lower paid jobs. So that's one on. And I think I'm out of step with this, but what we did do for them is we set up like an over the counter pharmacy, and we have 2 of them. Because it's kind of a long ways for this community's all spread out like that, it's not like food. So we did that, and they were in people's homes, and people had the responsibility to make sure that the inventory was up and to collect money when people used the product. So we did that, that was a good thing. And then the second thing was we have 550 books in Spanish for the kids to use. It was kind of a struggle because let me tell you, there were only one family that the children had any books. There were 2 books in that family, and that family, the parents were teachers, so why did they have books? Nobody else had a book. So they set up there, the books are there. It was a great fair when they came in, and then they were located in several places in the community so that the children would have better access. And to learn how to use a book, right? I didn't have one before. You don't want to rip it up or put it in mud or something. And then we did the water project this year. So no water in this community without walking 2-3 miles and no way to get it back except on a cart. So you fill up your bucket, put it on a cart and walk all the way back. People had to get up early in the morning to do that. That's not simple, right? Not simple. So what happened this year is, fortunately, the person who's currently heading up LIP retired. And so he needed a new job. So I took this on, and this worked very well for us as a district because he put a lot of time into this. So we worked with Engineers Without Borders. We worked with that PC, that other group up there. And now the result is that El Corozo has its own well. Before they had wells in distant communities. And if the communities were using all their water, even if you go with your bucket and your cart, there might not be much water there. So now they have their own well. It took a while, 800 feet of well, but it works. And they have the other thing they set up is a little, I forgot what we call it now, but it's a group of people who are responsible for making sure that the well is maintained, that the pipes are good, the pipes go to everybody's house. How about that? That's a lot different. You can imagine just go out to into your road there or your path and turn on a little faucet and gosh, look at that, there's water. And it's clean water. So we have this group and they're supposed to maintain the well and make sure that all the pipes are working and everything. And the water is metered, so people have to pay for it because you gotta have money left when money there when something goes wrong. So it's a community group that's managing that. They're managing it, not us. That means that they're invested and the people are invested in having this situation continue. So really, it's sustainable. And that's what we want to see happen. Let me see if there's anything.
Yeah, fine.
I have 5 minutes, 4 questions and everything. Oh,
5 minutes.
okay, let's see what else is there. So that just shows there's a pump house, there's retaining tanks, there's all that stuff, you know, and there was a big celebration when that happened. I mean, and you can imagine how happy that is. I know for us, we have a well, and the other day the electricity went out, and so there are 48 hours without water or something. What is this, you know? Okay, that's a good one. That just kind of shows the length of the El Corozo. If there's that, I don't know how well you can see from the back, but a water spigot outside each house, like, okay. And they're all celebrating. I mean, I like that picture of this little kid over here in the corner getting water. Okay. So I think I've kind of talked about most of this stuff already. So what we're really going to be doing is focusing in El Corozo, focus a little more on how we can give them more economic capacity because it will improve what's going on. The other thing they wanted was a road. Okay, they had a really grand idea of a road at the beginning. It was going to be a paved road with gutters and curbs and everything. And Because when you walk on that road, if kids have, over sixth grade have to walk on that road to go to school about a mile. And I can tell you from personal experience, twice, we went off in the rainy season, we went off the road in a four-wheel drive. Boom. This was not happy, especially for the car. And then the second time we didn't use the car, we just had a horse cart and took us all in that way. So it's important to have something better happening there. What they've done on their own here is that they put some gravel in a couple of the worst places. So we're going to be looking at the road again and seeing if we can't figure out, let's just grade it, let's put gravel down. You'll be able to get there. There's only one car in Elk Grove, so other people use bikes or they walk. Or they use their horse, something like that. So, okay, I think we're. Oh, okay, you can just put. I don't care if you need that anymore. We're done with that one. Thank you. So for Lyft, obviously Lyft is a district event, a district effort, and we would like to have $15 per person from each club. If you want to give more, that's sort of great. I think you were talking about some of those. It'll just help think about that as your club. I know my club, we manage to raise that money all the time, each time, and it works. And so think about that. And if you have any questions, you probably have about 2 minutes left.
So are you partnering with another Rotary Club / district in the area? Or are you doing everything here remotely?
No, we do.
Repeat the questions.
Oh, repeat the questions. Is District 5960 partnering with another Rotary Club when we go forward to do these things? We partnered with Wadi Masada. What was he part of Masada? Yeah, we do partner. You have to partner with a local club, and then they're on the ground there and they help out. So that was good. And actually, some of those club members came to visit maybe about 6 years ago. Came to Rochester too. Because one of them was a doctor. Yeah.
How many high school students are in that school?
Probably about maybe 35. Yeah. So we're going to go to Nicaragua again. Those of you who haven't been, so only Carol's been probably. Anybody else been to Nicaragua? No. We're going to have a chance. So it's a good trip. It's not too long. You know, it's in the same time zone. You don't get jet lag. Probably we're looking at probably in February, something like that. So we'll keep you all posted, and usually go for about 10 days, visit El Rosa, and probably and a little bit else, get a little bit more feeling in Nicaragua. Did we do it in time?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you again very much, Bev. That was a phenomenal overview, and appreciate your combination of technology and humanity. We do this work in remote locations, but also have a lot of insights into what it might take to lift up our communities here. If we can listen to each other, inquire respectfully, facilitate dialogue and peace building, and do it with the Rotary ethics to transform our own hope and sustainability going forward. So thank you. You gave us a lot to think about and a lot of ideas on what we might be able to do going forward. So with the closing, I'd like to acknowledge Mark Dribbs for helping at the desk. Ali, for you helping with greeting. And Sherston with technology, along with Bill four-way test, Maryland, four-way or reflection, Maryland and Enfield. And for all of you for being here, thank you so much. Let's create hope in the world, and we are adjourned.